Yeah. Let's get it.
Good morning, guys and girls. It's Big Boy JC on Drive Life, and I got part 2 to my other story I told you guys the other day about me knocking out 3 guys at one time. So if you guys don't remember, go back and watch that video prior to this one. Then come back and catch up on this one, and you'll be all good to go. But yeah, man, I was in Amarillo bouncing at that club for a minute after that happened, taking life easy because everybody was pretty much afraid of me back then, not knowing that I was, I was actually kind of scared myself when I got into that predicament with those 3 guys. But after knocking them all out, it kind of set a tone for how everybody else would view me or look at me from that point on. So. But it was a couple months after that happened, that bar, that dance hall that I worked at, they closed down to remodel, and I was out of work. And I was sitting at home one day, and one of my buddies, his dad's real well known there. He was one of my best friends growing up through grade school, and then in junior high they moved to Amarillo. I was still in Oklahoma, but we kept in touch over all those years. And when I'd go to Amarillo, we'd hang out together. But he came over one time, and he's like, dude, you ain't working? And I was like, no, they closed down to remodel. So I'm just like hanging out, waiting until they start back up again. He goes, well, I can get you a job at this strip club. You know, they need a doorman over there, a bouncer over there. They don't have one, and they need a good one over there. So I can talk to that guy for you and see if he'll hire you. And I said, go for it, man. I need some money. I need to make some money while, I'm working, or while I'm not working. And he said, okay. So he talks to the dude. He talks to the guy that owns the bar, gets me an interview with him. He likes me, we click, so I start working there. Well, while I'm working there, these other club owners that own these other dance halls, they kept coming in to the strip bar and asking me, what are you doing working over here? And I'm like, man, Wild Wild West closed down, so I don't have a job, so I gotta work somewhere. And they said, we didn't know that, man, and why don't you come work for us? And I asked them what they'd pay. So I go back and tell that boss, hey, man, I'm out after the night, I got another job, they're gonna pay me more. And he'll be like, where? And I tell him, and he goes, well, I'll pay you more than what they're gonna pay you. That happened 2 or 3 times. He didn't want me to leave, because whenever I was at the club, nothing would happen. As soon as I would take a day off, somebody would get a broken nose, broken arm, broken limb, something bad would happen every time I took a night off. So he wanted me there as much as possible. It was worth it to him, to keep the lawsuits down and everything like that, to keep me there. So he kept paying. Well, while I'm working there, the girls and the employees and everything like that we all get to know each other. And they were talking to me. Somebody said, hey, man, you're the one that knocked out the Moss brothers and whoever it is, And I said, yeah, I am. And they said, well, their dad comes in here a lot, and he's an old school, one of them professional wrestlers from the back in the day. And man, he don't give a shit about nothing, man. He don't have any kind of manners or anything like that. He says what's on his mind, and if he don't like you, he'll pull out his little pocket knife and stab you. So you gotta be careful with him when he comes in here, if he knows that you had a beef with his sons, And I said, okay, well, y'all just let me know if y'all see him. So it wasn't too long after that, he come in there, and he comes straight over to me and said, you JC? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, you the one that whooped my boys and my nephew, knocked them out, whatever. And he said, I bet they was drunk, or I bet they was all messed up on something where they couldn't fight, and that's how you did it. And I was like, well, whatever the case may be, it happened, it's done, it's over with. If they were drunk, they probably sobered up by now, so they probably think different by now. That's how it usually happens. People are drunk and they say and do stupid shit, get kicked out, get into a fight, get knocked out, and they think twice about it later on. But I said, yeah, so they probably don't even think the same way now. He goes, if I know my boys, they waiting to get you. He said, I'll tell you what, I'll call them and I'll get them in here and we'll do that same fight over, and I'll put $1,000 up to your $10. And I was thinking, my boss was like, I don't care, y'all can do it back out in the alley. And I'm thinking, man, I really don't want to do it, but I can't look like a weenie in front of all my friends and all these girls in here in the strip club. I can't look like I'm gonna back out. So I was like, whatever, man, call him up. Then I was kind of getting scared again, so I called my old man. My old man was in town. He happened to be in town that weekend, visiting his girlfriend at the time. And so I called out to my grandma's house. When they had them cell phones back then. So I called my grandma's house. Hey, is my dad there? And she goes, yeah, he's about ready to leave, go on his date. And I said, well, let me talk to him real quick. And so he got on the phone. I said, hey, you know so-and-so, there was that Wesley. He goes, yeah, I know him. He went to school. I said, well, that's the one that his sons I told you I knocked out, and their cousin and stuff. And he was like, yeah. I said, well, he was up here at the club starting shit with me again and telling me he's going to go get his boys and bring them back and we're going to do the fight over. I said, I just want somebody that I know that's close to me, behind me, because I don't know a whole lot of people at the club really like that. And I didn't have any of my best boys, my boys that I hung around with. Nobody was there, and I wasn't able to get a hold of them, so I called my dad. So he said, what's the bet? And he said he was going to bet $1,000 to my 10. And my dad was like, oh, who do you think we are? We don't have $1,000 or what? And I said, I don't know, Dad. I said, I just want somebody down here in case it goes sideways. And I heard he tried to pull a weapon, or he has pulled a weapon on people before and stabbed them. I just want somebody watching out for me that I can trust. So my dad says, all right, well, I'll be up there. So my dad comes walking into the strip club, and he's got 10 $100 bills in his hand. And he goes, well, I brought my 1,000. And where's he at? And I said, he ain't showed up yet. And so I was like, man, deep down inside, I was like getting all scared again. I was like, man, I really don't want to fight these guys, man. It may be a different outcome this time, because if they're not drunk, they're not on something, they some big old muscle-bound boys, they're going to really whip my ass good. So I was like, man, I really don't want this to happen. Deep down inside, well, my wish came true, because old dude never came back. And so everybody was like, oh, yeah, he didn't come back. My dad left to go on his date. And he said, I'll check by on you after a while. So he came back by after his date. And I said, nah, he never showed up. Well, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that, the old dude shows up again. I'm like, oh, shit, here he comes, And he comes over and shakes my hand and says, JC, man, if my boys got knocked out by you and their stupid-ass cousin, too, they probably were doing something that they deserved to be knocked out for, and I can't quit. I can't keep on taking up for them, and stuff like that. I'm getting to be an old man, and I can't be doing stuff like that. I just want to come in here and have a good time, and this is your place, and I don't want no beef between us. So it was like a Tuesday night, and there was nobody in there hardly. So we went up and sat at the bar, and he started buying me drinks, and we drank for a couple hours, and I got so messed up drunk, and he actually ended up giving me a ride home, to be in fact, because I couldn't drive. So I got home, and that was the end of that story. We squashed that, and then later on, a couple months even so after that, his sons and their cousin came into the club, believe it or not, and their old man must have told them I was there, but they came in, and they all shook my hand, and so they just want to come in and have a good time and see the girls, and they're gonna tip them. They got lots of money, so they get in there and they tip them well. I bought them a couple of drinks. We all squashed it, and then that same night, I was actually dating one of the girls there, and she was asking me what's going on tonight. Are we going to do anything? And I said, I don't know. So I talked to them dudes, man, and they wanted to have a party at their house if I could get some of the girls to come over. So I told that girl that I was dating, ask all the girls who all wants to go over to so-and-so's house and party or whatever. And so we all went over there, and it was crazy. The craziness did not stop. I swear to you guys out there, the stories I'm telling you was back in the early 90s, and it was a whole different time back then. So we had the party, and the party's starting to die down. People are going. It's getting late. He showed me all his house. He had to show off. He had $1 million home back there in the 90s, and his family had so much money that it's not even funny. But I noticed at one point in time that his beer bottle had lipstick on it. So I was thinking, man, am I have to whoop this dude again, man? He kissing on my girl when I ain't paying attention or what? And so I looked at her, and yeah, it was the same color lipstick, everything. And yeah, it was like, are you kissing this dude? She's like, no, why you say that? I said, because I see lipstick on his bottle and stuff, and he ain't wearing no lipstick. And she's like, well, I ain't kissing him, whatever, whatnot. And so what happened was they got their beer bottle switched up. And this dude was drinking out of her beer bottle and got lipstick transferred from her beer bottle. But he was messed up later on. He was so drunk, and he was talking to me for real. And we was out in his garage, and I remember he had a Mercedes out there. I want to say a Corvette. I can't remember. Some kind of sport. No, I think it was the Mitsubishi GT convertible that was out there. Then he had a Harley Davidson motorcycle. His dad, I told you, did Harley Davidsons. And that Harley Davidson was badass. And I said, man, that bike is bad. And I sat on it, and I was checking it out. And he goes, you like that? I said, oh, yeah. I'll ride this out of all these. And he said, I tell you what, I got the title in there in the drawer in my office. And I said, okay. And he says, if you want the bike, leave your girl here with me tonight, and you can have the bike. And I was like, man, this dude is crazy, man. What the hell is wrong with him, man? And so we almost got into it then, and then when the girl I was dating, her name was Kimberly, she came out, and I was like, man, we gotta go. And she's like, why? And I said, this dude, man. And hindsight 2020, I should have traded the girl for the bike. I was talking to people after that, and they said, yeah, he would have done it. If he said he was going to give me the bike for her to stay there tonight, he would have done it. And she turned out to be something else. So, you know, I should have probably did it. Didn't. But oh well. That's how life goes. So anyways, that was that story. And I got some more that happened in that same nightclub. I got some good stories that happened in that nightclub, man. I got one, I'll tell you, where we flew a little airplane to Lubbock to go do something over in Lubbock. And I got a couple of other stories where we went into some other clubs and we got kicked out because we weren't supposed to be there. So you're going to have to tune in, guys. If you like these little stories like this, you know, give me a like, help me out with the algorithm of the channel here, and help me grow this channel. I got another channel called Big Boy JC, the Bully Buster, which I'm starting that kind of up, and I'm gonna go help you know, younger people, younger kids deal with bullies and try to deal with this bully situation and catch these badass kids before they get too old or old enough to buy weapons and go out and have these mass shootings and stuff. So look for that, Big Boy JC channel, and go support me there if you haven't already, and help me out by going to my Amazon link down in the bottom of this video and going through there and buying something and help me out as an Amazon affiliate. And once again, my funny onesie and tees store, I'll put the link to it down there. So if you know any little kids and want some crazy onesies, we just came up with some more this weekend. We had a good weekend, good turnout, sold a lot of them. Go through and start checking those out. The catalog is getting bigger and bigger as the days go by. So go check that out and get yourself a onesie. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to a little physical therapy deal here, my doctor's appointment for today, where they're going to test me and see what kind of capabilities I got. So wish me luck on that. And like I said, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'll keep up with these stories, you know, these stories when I was a bouncer and when I did security. So remember, tomorrow's never promised. So tell all your loved ones that you love them today if you see them or come across them. If you got any beefs out there with, you know, certain people that make your life uncomfortable or that you think about from time to time, go ahead and squash it. Be a bigger man if you have to, and just get that negative energy out of your life, and get the positive energy back. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.